This is Valley News Live at 10.
The way. Let's get the latest from First Alert Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Hutch?
Mike, thanks. Good evening, everyone. As we close out a work week and head into the weekend, we've been watching our risk for some nasty wind chills. Take a look at this with me as we show you the Arctic air is just punching into the northern counties now. And by Saturday morning, these black colors that you see here, illustrative of wind chill values that are going to be between 40 and 50 below for many locations. Now, it does not get better on Sunday morning as we pause things here. It's going to be brutally cold. Not as much wind expected Sunday, but colder temperatures as a matter of fact. And then by Monday, the coldest of the air arrives for many. Frostbite can happen in this type of weather in 10 minutes. Sometimes less if that wind chill gets colder than 50 below. So a couple things to keep in mind. Mike, this is really important, but if you have a furnace exhaust, keep your eyes on it throughout this entire period because ice likes to build up there and can block that exit and cause carbon monoxide to build up in your house, and that's a good reason to have a carbon monoxide detector and check the batteries on those. Check your neighbors, check your pets and livestock, and survival kits in your vehicle. Hour by hour details here in just a few moments on our weekend of chilly weather.
Thanks, Hutch. When local law enforcement were planning a weekend to sleep outdoors in a tent, they didn't expect they'd be dealing with these temperatures. But they are sticking to the plan, and it's all for a good cause. Valley News Team's Courtney Lockie shows you.
You guys are on board then? You guys are going to be staying out here as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's staying tonight, I'm staying tomorrow night.
Fargo-Moorhead Legion riders call this freezing for a good reason.
Everybody staying in that tent is making an effort, and we're all going to make a small difference on this.
They're spending the weekend outside, bringing awareness to two issues: veteran suicide prevention and homelessness.
It warms us to be able to do all the good that we're doing and to see how it is blowing up.
Clay and Cass County sheriffs joining in for the cause.
I just hope that both sheriffs don't snore because they're going to be in the tent with me tonight.
I don't know if I snore. I stayed up once all night just to make sure I didn't. I never did, so I don't think I do.
I don't even know if we'll get much sleep tonight as cold as this.
I'm going to sleep like a baby. I'll wake up every 15 minutes and cry.
1 hour into the event, the group already filled half a truck with clothes and raised more than $1,000.
With the temperatures as low as they are tonight, it really gives us a really good feeling for what it would be to stay out on a night like tonight if you were homeless.
So we're just here to have a little bit of fun and get to know some more people in our community and raise awareness for two good causes.
In Moorhead, Courtney Lockie, Valley News Live.
You can drop off your donations at the Moorhead American Legion anytime before Sunday at noon. Now they're looking for cash, food, and winter clothing donations. Staff, guests, and volunteers with the New Life Center will also be spending the night in the cold next Wednesday in order to continue this effort to raise awareness of homelessness. Minnesota's food shelves saw a big jump in need amid the pandemic. Hunger Solutions Minnesota collected data from 350 food shelves across the state and released its annual report. That report says in 2020 they saw a record 3.8 million visits. Now that's up 7% from the year before. There was also a 31% jump in visits by older adults. With around 66 to 72% efficacy, many of you have voiced your concerns about the new Johnson & Johnson vaccine. However, local health experts say it's better than it sounds.
So even though you still get the disease or may get the disease, you're not going to get sick enough to where it'll require hospitalization or a death.
Johnson & Johnson filed for emergency authorization with the FDA yesterday for its single-use vaccine, and it hopes to have thousands of vaccines shipped by March 1st. Dr. Vetter says you can't choose which vaccine you get, but that will likely change in the future once states and hospitals start receiving more doses. Have you signed up for the VNL Vaccine Tracker? It's a great way to stay on top of the latest vaccine information. Here's how you do it. Just open your phone camera, point it at the QR code on your screen, then tap the link that pops up. You'll have access to national and local resources at your fingertips. North Dakota's House voted down a series of bills that would have made exceptions to getting the COVID vaccine. Reporter Jacob Noterman tells us what it means to you.
This week was the first week of significant health policy votes coming to the House chambers, and many of the bills presented would have rolled back many current health policies that are in place. But the House made their opinions very clear.
7 vaccine bills killed in one afternoon. This time, the split in the chamber wasn't based on party. On one side, those who saw the bills as an affront to public safety.
These are conditions and diseases that have virtually been cured, or the herd immunity is so great because of the availability of vaccines that they are not a health concern any longer.
On the other side, those who saw COVID policies as an attack. Bills included expanding vaccine exemptions for schools and barring anyone but doctors from accessing medical records. The results of the votes were decisive, with at least a 40-vote margin, except for one bill on informed consent, where doctors would have to warn patients about the possible unknown side effects. Representative Luke Simons giving personal testimony on contracting French polio after receiving a tetanus shot.
My wife and children had to carry me around. For almost 2 years, I still can't feel my legs. You'll see me run out of committee a bunch. I'm late for committee a lot. I have mechanical issues.
That bill failed by 2 votes. Lawmakers in the minority called the votes disappointing.
We really don't value individual choice when it comes to vaccinations. We claim to, but that's only if you never want to go anywhere, buy anything, or work anywhere.
Each of the 7 bills came into the chamber with do not pass recommendations from their respective committees.
Some lawmakers had said that the response to the pandemic has been an infraction upon their individual rights, while others argued that North Dakota is amongst the most consumer-friendly when it comes to vaccines. At the Capitol, I'm Jacob Noterman, reporting for your news leader.
It's clear that human traffickers focus on large events like the Super Bowl, but the police would like to remind you that trafficking happens every day. In North Dakota, Sergeant Michael Bolme says that there are dozens of women working as prostitutes, many of them juveniles or runaways. He says the sex workers operate a circuit.
And then up to Minot and Watford and even like Beulah, those smaller towns. And it's simply just for the money. They know there's customers here.
Bolme adds that the police department is consistently keeping an eye on websites where transactions for trafficking are known to occur. He advises parents to stay engaged with their children, and if you suspect somebody is in a bad way, contact your local law enforcement. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is deploying the National Guard for potential civil unrest during the trials of former Minneapolis officers charged in the death of George Floyd. They would serve during the trial of Derek Chauvin, which is scheduled to begin on March 8th, and then they'll be around for the trial of the 3 other officers that's scheduled for August. Still ahead tonight on Valley News Live at 10, President Biden pushing for $1,400 stimulus checks for some. We'll tell you why some lawmakers from both political parties and top economic advisors are saying not so fast.
And the forecast shows it's going to be a cold road ahead. Find out why Hutch and my trusty pal Pedro here are preparing for some cold weather. We remind you to take care of your furry friends, and we'll have details on a First Alert Weather Day Saturday and Sunday next.